It's not hard to be remembered forever. People seem to think it is for some reason. Everybody talks about how scary the idea is of being forgotten by everyone. First your friends, then your family, then history and the universe. But really it isn't. There's a pretty straightforward way of avoiding the tragedy altogether. Step 1 is technically optional, but as of late especially not, and that is to be born into a wealthy family. Preferably, it would be most advantageous if you're a man, and a white man if we're being honest, particularly if you're gunning to be an American, which would be best, but it might not be entirely necessary. And we're not solely talking about billionaires either, though that's certainly a help, just millionaires, maybe upper wealthy middle class if you're shrewd. Anyway, with that out of the way, you can probably spend your early years doing whatever the hell you want for a while. Most offices don't let you run till your 20s or 30s anyway, so you're probably fine. That is, unless you were born into one of the lower classes where your parents make 6 figures instead of 7, and then you can adjust accordingly, getting jobs and such like a pleb. Finding somebody nice to marry in the meantime would be a help, just don't go for anybody too ambitious just in case. Wouldn't want to be remembered as the spouse of the person who killed everybody, am I right? Because that's where this is going, if you couldn't tell. What's the best way to be remembered, I ask you? The pros will tell you it's some sort of romantic rubbish, like being unendingly kind to others, or trying to be your best self, whoever that may be. Some may even say something or other about a god, in which case you can abuse that. No, see, in truth, the people who are forever remembered are the bad guys, the real bad ones. You know who I'm talking about. And the next logical step to be remembered forever is to enact a global catastrophe and ensure that your face is plastered on every burning poster in the fiery maelstrom. So step 2, buy some favors. A small town's government, an ear in Congress, maybe a few ears in Congress. Lobby if you like, that'll just buy you Congress. It's best if you get some connections, very powerful ones, preferably folks you're confident enough or competent enough to stick around, but just not capable enough to get anything comparable done. Trust me, this might sound picky, but there's plenty up on Capitol Hill. Now, most politically engaged folks like yourself are simply looking for a quick buck, a pump and dump scheme with, oh, I don't know, let's say tariffs or that new cryptocurrency scam. As it turns out, by the way, natural selection, while morally dubious, was necessary. One day, half of us will have gills and 50% smaller brains, since we'll have given up on all that higher thought stuff long prior. Anyway, my point was, you're not them. You've got a goal to accomplish in government, something a lot of folks are lacking these days, and that goal is relatively simple. If you're American, as I've obviously assumed you are, the presidential race is really your biggest threat, since you actually have to convince the public that you're not trying to blow everything up. Or you could probably fashion a manner to buy or cheat your way into an electoral vote majority, either by years of gerrymandering and such with special connections, if you're big picture, or just straight up bribes if you've got the money lying around. I'm mostly kidding, democracy is slightly more insulated than that, probably. The actual easiest way is to just pick a few talking points, market yourself, often literally, and then write out that parasocial savior complex. It doesn't take long, and it doesn't take much effort. Be like those old YouTubers, but more transphobic. Oh, look at that, you've won. If you haven't, you can probably find a way to start again somewhere else. Plastic surgery, forgery, all sorts of things if you're dedicated. There are plenty of countries with world-ending abilities. I'd start with France, they seem the scariest. Hell, you could probably even fake it again in the US. God knows we aren't particularly good at vetting our officials. Okay, you've done all that now, and congratulations, you now have a myriad of devices, some public knowledge, some certainly not, that you can unleash upon the world at any moment. And don't worry, our governing apparatus can almost surely do nothing to stop you. So, now you're in the Oval Office, or at 10 Downing Street, or Paris, or whatever, hovering over that big red metaphorical button. It's time for step 3. You've hopefully spent the last few weeks, or maybe even months, making an ass of yourself enough to be posted on the front page of Everything Everywhere. The world knows you as a simultaneously beloved figure by tens of millions, and a despised one by everybody else. But their opinions don't matter. For one, they're not you, and secondly, we're not here to be remembered well. We're here to be remembered, and that glorious button is what make you a stain on the mind of every human being to ever live here on out. That beautiful, glistening red is your vessel into godhood, into immortality. You will never have to fear being forgotten again. With your hand just above its glossy, blood-red surface, I want you to savor being burned into the generational memory of an entire fucking species. I want you to enjoy your reward of being the branded scar of destruction marring the faces of mothers and children and the earth itself. I want you to relish being the man who destroyed the world. Click it. In an instant, the sky is as red as that unassuming little button. The sun is rising on all fronts. Diseases unknown to the human body straddle the searing atmosphere and boiling seas, wreaking unimaginable biological horrors upon the mangled corpses of irradiated schoolchildren. You've done it. And then the dust settles, and the black surface of the earth crumbles when your boots, insulated by your high-security charred office, land on it. The trees crumple in on themselves, turned to soot and ash. The atmosphere burns your lungs when you inhale. You know that your body is not long for this hellish world you've created. Nothing moves. There isn't a mouse, a cockroach, a sole human being left in this wasteland. You can see the horizon where there once were streets and buildings now empty, stretching out for miles, clear-cut with all the homes and hills and mountains leveled and buried. Nothing lives. And it hits you. Your knees give out, whether toppled by emotion or the 24 mutated bioweapons clogging your blood until it's as thick as syrup. You realize that there's no one left to remember you. With shaky hands, you scoop up some of the ash, reconciling that at least Mother Gaia will remember you. That you marked her timeless surface, and cursed her to bear your name, though written in destruction, until the end of her days. Raindrops splatter into your palms, first one at a time, then more frequent and heavy. They wash away the ash. You cry out, your tears mixing with the rain. Even they are swept away into the abyss and forgotten. Your hands shake more rapidly, but you force them above you. You force them into fists, and you force those to bear. You force your mouth and lungs to scream that acid air. It is the only sound left. And it stops as soon as you fall over.